Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, in this video I'm going to talk to you about Aurora that just came out for Windows. Bonjour, my name is Serge Germany. I'm a French photographer from the amazing city of Paris, France, living in Los Angeles, California. And I want to talk to you about Aurora HDR. Today is the day when it's coming out for Windows. Thousands of people have been waiting for it, and there it is. You can purchase it at a special price under this video. But let me show you some of the new stuff of Aurora HDR 2018. So Aurora HDR 2018 is here, and I love it. It's so much faster. It's Windows and Mac, and they added a few cool stuff. Let me show you. This is photos I just took last week from Yosemite. That's a bracketed shot, so normal, under, and overexposed. I'm going to right click, select, export to Aurora 2018. I'm going to use the option of open original image because I want to do the entire raw treatment. I'm only using Lightroom to send the photo. See, boom, it's really fast. I have to click on alignment because remember I was by hand. I love their new user interface. It's much faster. It's much cleaner. I love it. I love it. I love it. So when you start off, I advise you can click here on categories just to get a sense of around. You see here, there's a little button. When you click on it, you see or you don't see the presets. Okay, I like to work with presets, and here it takes out the settings. So you can click here, and you've got a whole bunch of folders: basic, architecture, architecture, indoor, landscape, realistic HDR, dramatic, Captain Chemo preset, and Search Remedy preset. Why? Let's use the Search Remedy preset. So on this one, I'm going to start out with the Photo Search Basic, which is my first basic preset. But let me show you a few of the new options that I really like. First of all, there is the HDR Enhance, which I really like. So on this one, let me just open the shadows a little bit so that we can see a little bit more, what's inside. Now remember, we are working with 3 RAW files from a Sony A7R II. It's, each files are huge, so it has to get the information for all the 3 RAW files. But check this out, they have a new option called HDR Enhance. It's like clarity, but it's kind of nice, But this type of thing, I don't like it on the clouds. I like it on the rocks. But as you know, or if you don't know, Aurora is layer based. So I usually do, one basic look here on the basic preset. I think I'm going to use Photo Search Bright. I think this one is going to work better for that photo because Photo Search Basic. So you can just click and it's going to reset all that. So that's Photo Search Basic. Okay, this one then I'm going to lower the highlights so I can see what's going on in the sky. Open up shadows. It's very similar to Lightroom, except you're dealing with 3 exposures. And okay, on this one, I think, let me see what HDR Enhance does. Yeah, I like a little bit of it. So that's going to be my basic, okay? That's going to be my basic. I want to add some more warmth to the photo maybe. So let's add a little bit of warmth here and a little, not that much, that's too much. You have to go very light on the temperature and maybe just a little bit of magenta. Why? Because I'm hooked with magenta. Okay, so now that's my basic. I'm going to go here on layers. I'm going to click a new adjustment layer. Now, on this new adjustment layer, I want to take care. There was a bit of yellow in the sky, so I want to add that. So you know what? I'm just going to add a whole bunch of yellow and actually a lot of magenta here. Maybe add a bit of saturation and vibrance. But I only want this to be in the sky, not everywhere. So because it's on that one layer, I can take the brush, which is here. Okay. Okay, I got a brush here. I can change the softness, make sure it's 100%. I'm going to make a big brush. And you see the effect that we created here, temperature and the magenta and the saturation is being applied everywhere. But as soon as I'm going to brush, a little brush, what's going to happen is going to create a mask, and it's only going to appear where I painted. You see, I'm going to just paint here in the sky to bring back a little bit of that color, maybe a little bit here on the tree itself. And if you think it's too much, so you can paint and I can erase. So I can erase if I just wanted to add a bit of warmth, you know, to some of the clouds. I just wanted to do it here. But I love the look. Check it out. This is where we are now, before and after. It's already looking kind of cool. Okay, and now I'm going to make another layer for the dodge and burn. Now they created a whole new tool for dodge and burn. Check this out. It's called, believe it or not, dodge and burn. You click on start painting. You got a brush, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And so you've got lighten and darken. So I'm going to go lighten, and I'm just going to, I want to make this a little bit brighter here, where the tree is. And I'm doing this on its own layer, remember. Okay, I can make this a little stronger. It's kind of a little light. I want to make that tree maybe a little bit brighter. And maybe this tree a little bit brighter, and this a little bit brighter. And you can see here the before and the after of the dodge. You see, it's kind of subtle. That's what I like. It's not too strong. It's kind of subtle. Okay, I really want to do something about that tree. I really want to boost that tree. So you know what? I can just create a layer for that, and it's going to get the information. I can just say, okay, you know what? I'm going to boost the HDR enhance. I'm going to boost the exposure. Okay, open up the shadows. Add a lot of magenta. But I like what it does to the tree. I don't want it everywhere because I'm on the layer. Make sure you're on paint. And as you brush, the effect is only being applied where you brush. It creates a mask. Remember, a mask, black conceals, white reveals. You see it's revealing here only the white. Check it out. You can even see the before and after of that one layer. So, and maybe a little bit here. I want this whole thing to be a bit brighter. Look at this. This is where I came from. This is where I came from. Okay, and so now the dodge and burn is on its own layer. Same thing with that layer. I can lower in opacity or stronger. I like what it does to the clouds. Okay, and I'm ready for a final touch. I'm going to create like a new adjustment layer. And on this one, I think the photo lacks of color. So I'm just going to add a little bit of vibrance and saturation. A little bit of that. And voila, I love, you don't have to do this, I love oversaturated, crazy colors. I like to create an effect. And I mean, it was a great sunset that I kind of missed. The green is a little too much, but I just love it. And that's the good thing. You can, let's say that you're not like me, you're not crazy and you don't like too much saturated. You know what? If only there was a slider for that, So you can just go back to your saturation and just lower the saturation and the vibrance and get a boring photo. It's totally up to you. Or you can go crazy and have a beautiful photo and get thousands of likes on Instagram. It's completely up to you. I'm just kidding. You do whatever you want. I like very colorful photos. Okay, so yeah, so that's just a little view. They had a cool thing like history. You can go back here in history. I can go back just like in Photoshop, or I can just undo the last step here. So that's pretty cool. Much faster, much better, and I really like that photo. So I'm going to click apply, and I'm going to show you on another photo. So I'm going to go back to Lightroom. I take this photo, and sometimes I love to use Aurora just to give some punch on a photo. So I'm going to right-click, export original image in HDR, Aurora HDR 2018. I'm going to click create HDR. So here I am. On this one, let me show you some of the sliders. So, smart tones, if you go on the right, makes the photo a little bit too bright. If you go on the left, a little bit darker. Let's see what HDR Enhance is going to give on this one. I move to the right. Ooh, I like how it just... The HDR Enhance is kind of like clarity, but better. So I think I'm going to use some HDR Enhance. I want to make more contrast. I'm going to add more contrast. Do my black, and I have a little bit of a different workflow, but already it's kind of looking cool. Now what I want to do on this one, and this is something you cannot do in Lightroom, is play with glow and radiance. So that's my basic thing. I used the Photo Search Basic as my basic preset, and now I'm going to add another layer, and this time I'm going to show you something that I really love, and it's called the glow and the radiance. So image radiance, if you go here on the right, it makes a sort of a glow, but it's really cool. Okay, and then here is, I'm going to add some more glow, and glow is just going to take anything which is really bright and make a glow around it. Okay, and I'm going to add maybe a little bit of yellow, just like it was coming from the sky, and a little bit of magenta, and don't ask me why. Now, I love the look, but I liked what I had on the tree. So because I'm on a layer, I'm just going to click here on the brush. Okay, make sure you are on paint. And I'm only going to paint this. I'm going to make this a little bigger. I'm only going to paint this here where the sky is. Okay, let's see if that's going to work. And I'm going to keep just where there's a bit of highlight, maybe here. I want to keep the texture. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Check this out. So before that layer, so now we have a mix of vibrance. Now, maybe on the original one, I think I was too cold. So I can go back here and just warm up a little bit the basic layer. Just add a bit of yellow, maybe a magenta, and then re-add back the effect. And boom. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. Okay, I think I'm going to do one more layer. And maybe sometime I like to do like a sort of a final layer, maybe make the whole photo a little bit brighter, boost in the blacks, maybe add a bit of blue. I think I went too far on the yellow, but I wanted to get some kind of glowy night. I mean, check it out. This is the before, and this is the after. You know, now it's a magical night. You know, it's a golden hour feeling. I love that. And I love post-processing, and I love doing that. I think it's so artistic, you know, and what you can do with it. It really has become an art in itself. And all I'm going for is emotion. I'm not going for realistic. I'm going for emotion. Anyways, I like that. So the user interface is very clean. It's for Windows, mesdames et messieurs. I've got so many emails of people saying, when is Aurora HDR coming out on Windows? Well, there it is. You've got all the links to purchase with a special offer right under this video. Take advantage of it and have fun. Have fun. All right, guys, I hope you liked this video. Leave me a comment of what you think of Aurora in HDR. Don't forget to get your copy of Aurora HDR 2019 by using the link below. And also, last but not least, subscribe to my channel if you didn't get a chance to, so you can get a notification every time I come out with a video, which is a lot this week. Mesdames et messieurs, see you in another video.